I feel horrible. I feel horrible. I met Coolio in 1999. Hey, everybody. Okay, so this, I realize, may come across as random, right? But for me, it's not random. And I'm about to get myself together because I'm not trying to show y'all my bedroom, right? So my agent literally just contacted me. I was at dinner with my husband. I've literally, since 3:00 this morning, I've been watching audition reels. I'm watching audition reels. I'm gonna get myself together because I am not one who doesn't find words for what it is that she needs to say. Okay, so the message came across while I was at dinner with my husband. Thank you, babe. Thank you. And a lot of you don't even understand why this is important to me, because it's not like people saw us publicly together, right? But I met Coolio in 1998. So the Grammy Awards, they happen every year when they happen, right? And once upon a life, the Grammys, on the day after the Grammy Awards, would do this event that raised money to pour into the lives of not just artists that had been forgotten, but also like background singers and that kind of thing that never got what they were supposed to get, whether it be in pay or residual pay. And so thank you, baby. I love you. Thank you. They were supposed to get. And so from year one, from Soul of a Woman, I would attend this dinner because it raised money for people who were not recognized for their body of work. And I can remember feeling like I didn't have the right to I didn't have the right to turn someone away who liked what I did or whatever, even if they weren't the right fit, if they could be obnoxious, whatever the case may be. And I remember, so my funny memory is that at this first event that I went to in 1998, after the Grammys, I met Patti LaBelle, Auntie Patti. And she talked to me and told me what the path of my career was going to be. And I didn't believe it because I felt like I had worked with so many people that, you know, when it came time for me to come back and ask somebody to work with me, that they would never deny me because I had worked for either very little or for free while I was trying to make my way in the industry as a background girl and an arranger and a producer that wasn't necessarily primed to get their credit, right? So I got to get myself together because I am not a girl who does not have her words. And I remember that Patti LaBelle, she said what she said. That's a different story, right? That's a different story. But I met Coolio. I met Coolio that same night. It was 1998, and it was the night after the Grammys. They used to do the Grammy Foundation dinner, and labels would have to buy tables, and all of the proceeds went to artists, and many of them were artists of color. Like, I want to say all of them were African American or artists of color, who had not been paid fairly, who had not been, they weren't getting their royalties, and a lot of them had made legendary records that we all know, but they had never received their just due. They didn't have health insurance. They didn't have life insurance. They didn't have any of that stuff. And so the Grammy Foundation did this every year, and they did it the day after the Grammys. And so my first time attending this particular event was in my album came out in 1998, so it wouldn't have been 1998. It came out in 1999 when I went to the Grammys as an artist, right, who had an album out. And I met Coolio that night for the first time. And I do understand that for anybody that has followed my career, this probably off the rack doesn't make sense. I believe in just telling the truth, period, right? So I met Coolio in 1999. I met Coolio in 1999 at the Grammy Foundation dinner, the night after the Grammys. And I can remember I was this girl, right, that every record industry executive knew, but said that I would never be anything in this business because I was so fat and I was all of these things. And Coolio, he came to me that night, the day after the Grammys in 1999. Help me, Jesus. Okay, because I want to respect him. I want to respect him, and I need to get myself together so I can tell this. Okay, so the Grammys, 1999. Literally after Auntie Patty shook my whole world and gave me some advice that would stick with me for the life of my career to this day, that I take as gospel truth, and it has been, right? So that very same night, 1999, the Grammy Foundation Awards dinner. Labels had to buy tables and all that kind of stuff. So it was one of those kind of events. And it was at that time, I don't see that they're still doing it, but it was, in my opinion, and I think for a lot of people, the Clive Davis party post Grammys. There was a Clive Davis party the night before the Grammys. There was the Grammys, and then there was this event that the Academy would hold. And I remember meeting Coolio, my first time attending this event. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Okay, I'm going to tell this story with strength and not in grief. And he literally watched me get approached by person after person after person after person after person. And in my mind, it's like, okay, you have a hit record. You broke barriers. You did something that no one else has ever done. And he's just he's being respectful in that he's honoring that. But our conversation actually went deeper than that. And he literally watched as person after person came to me and said, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. Give me a number to talk to you. Give me a number. No, I don't want your manager's number. I don't want your this number. I don't want your agent's number. I need to talk to you because I'm going to, it's all this craziness, right? And he watched me. He literally watched me, right? Coolio came over to me and he was like, hey, Miss Price. I was like, hey, how are you? Oh my God. Been spending love our life in the gangster's paradise. People say what they want to say. When that movie came out, he was sitting on top of the world. In white America, black America, if you want to put a color on it, he was sitting on top of it. I feel like music has no color. It touches every race. It touches every genre. It touches every soul. But if you need to put a culture or a color on it, he did belong to us, but he was for the world, right? So he came because he was a fan and he had a conversation with me, but he also came because, and he spoke to me as a senior in the business at the time that I was just breaking in. And so he noticed that I was being bombarded and bum rushed by so many people. And I guess from the look on my face, he could tell that I was communicating and actually sharing my personal contact information with people that I probably wasn't. No, let me just go on and tell the entire truth. I didn't necessarily want to share my personal contact information with. It would have been better if I could give them the information of a representative, but they were on some, oh my God, I need to talk to you and I don't want to talk to a representative. And so I didn't want to say no because I was brand new. And in my mind, saying no would be closing the door on opportunities that were coming. I didn't understand that when you present, quality and all that kind of stuff, that people will come and find you no matter what, even if you don't give them your personal details. And so he came to me that night and we had an incredible conversation. I can honestly say, because I don't cap, I don't do the BS where when somebody passes away, everybody has all of these, oh my God, I loved him so much. I loved him so. That is not me. I am not going to do that about somebody that I did not have a personal experience and or relationship with. He and I did not have any level of a relationship, business or otherwise, but he made such an impact on me at the beginning of my career by coming to me and saying, hey, I definitely want to work with you, but are you good? Because he saw the BS and he saw me succumbing to it. And I'm kind of looking at him like he's crazy because I'm not getting ready to tell him. I'm not really trying to give all these people my number because in my mind, I needed to be grateful for the fact that people wanted to work with me, right? So he said to me, all right, I'm going to help you out, sister. I'm 23, 24 years old. And Coolio said, let me tell you something. I want to work with you. You going to give me your number? I said, yeah. He said, you didn't even want to give me your number. And I looked at him like he was crazy, right? And he said, no, you didn't want to give me your personal number. I have watched you do that with several people tonight. He said to me, I've had the same cell number for over 10 years. And I looked at him and I said, how in the world did you do that? He said, because I only give my number to people that I want to call me. I only give my telephone number to people that I am willing to take a call from. And if I don't want them calling my phone, I either don't give them a number at all, or I give them the number to somebody that represents me, but I don't give out my personal information. And he said to me, Kelly Price, right? Because again, this is 1999 at the Grammys, and I'm brand new as an artist. He said, if you don't want somebody to have your personal information, don't give it to them. And you would have thought he had given me the Pythagorean theorem. I'm going to let you Google that in case you don't remember it from science class. But when he said it, it hit me like a ton of bricks. He said, you don't owe it to anybody to allow them into your personal space. This was a really good lesson. And it's still, even though he said it to me, it took me a long time to understand that what he said held true because I felt like I owed it to the world because I was that loud girl that the industry didn't bet on winning. They actually bet on me losing. And he said to me, if you don't want to talk to somebody, don't give them your number. If you don't want somebody to be able to reach you in your personal time, don't give them your number. Why are you changing your number every 6 months, Kelly Price? If you don't want somebody to have your personal details, do not give it to them. If I give my phone number to somebody, I'm okay with them calling me. Even I got to check and some of y'all not going to like the fact that I said that, but even if you don't like the fact that they are calling you, if you gave them your number, stand up, be a woman, and own it. He said that to me. God bless Coolio.